So, Dr. Kulkarni's school education happened in English medium, and after that, he opted for commerce for doing chartered accountancy in the 12th standard. He attended a few spiritual speeches, and by that, he decided to go deep in spirituality. In the meanwhile, he attended Bhagavad Saptaha and Mahabharat lecture series of Swami Gobind Dev Giriji, whose previous name was Shri Kishor Vyas, and that provided him to learn Sanskrit to understand the Sanskrit texts. And he did his Bachelor of Commerce in 2007 at Pune University, and simultaneously 3 years Sanskrit diploma from Tilak Maharashtra Vidyapith in 2007. Further, he decided to do a master's in Sanskrit, his MA in Sanskrit. The Sanskrit journey began in 2004, and his family, last 3 generations, there's no one in Sanskrit or any related field. But he thinks that he came here by the merits of past lifetimes and Guru's favor above all. Then the organization Sanskrit Seva Foundation was established by two schoolmates of the two schoolmates, himself and Mr. Nachiket Kakatkar. Apology if I do not pronounce the name correctly. A software in programmer. The objective of the organization is providing greater access to learning Sanskrit via traditional methods of teaching, and combining the knowledge from their respective fields in the way of Andhapangu Nyaya. SSF was founded on 17th October 2022. It is incorporated under the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Bharat Government, Section 8 of Companies Act 2013. I would just read his qualifications. So his academic qualifications: PhD in Sanskrit from 2011 to 2019 at Pune University, Masters that is MA in Sanskrit in 2009, and MA Indology, certificate and diploma in German. And his publications include two books. One is Bhashankuraha, and the second is Vedant Siddhant Chandrika with Udgar, critical edition, translation, and notes. 7 research papers and 10 articles to his credit. Research paper presentation at international, national, and state level conferences, seminars, and traditional Vakyarth Sabhas. Recently, 3 papers presented at the 19th World Sanskrit Conference in Kathmandu, Nepal. Presented 2 research papers at 18th Online World Sanskrit Conference in 2023, and experience of reading over 500 manuscripts in various scripts such as Old Devanagari, Jain Devanagari, Grantha, Telugu, and Bengali. And awards and prizes: he's received Mehendale Award, late Professor S.D. Joshi Memorial Award, Pandit C.G. Kashikar Memorial Prize 2015 and 2016, Manorma Award, late Dr. Pushpa Kale Memorial Prize, and currently is director at SSF and editor of the Dharmakosa project, Pathashala Mandala. That's Dr. Kulkarni. So I would hand over to Dr. Kulkarni. Thanks.
Okay. I will now do first Mangacharan. Mangacharan is our traditional beginning. We do by verse. So, Brahma Shabder Gamyantam Shabda Brahma Swarupinam Shabdarashe Subodhaya Vandeham Paramaksharam. This is the auspicious verse of Bhashankura text. So, Bhasha Abhyasaha, a path to Sanskrit mastery. Now, first point, everybody knows the importance of Sanskrit language. So, I will not speak on that too much. I will just highlight key points for the importance of Sanskrit. while learning Sanskrit, we gain the discriminative power. Okay, our brain capacity increases, and it is common experience of many. So not only Sanskrit actually, Shastra text, and various texts. Then memory also. It also helps in strengthening the memory. Nowadays there is a common disease. I just want to tell that if everybody has any question, they can ask in between, because ours should be interaction. Our entire traditional texts and everything is in interaction way. Gita is not that Krishna is telling and Arjuna is listening. No, there is some other. So you can ask questions in between if you have. So memory, strengthening the memory. So nowadays there many people are suffering from Alzheimer, or we can say that the disease called which they forget. So after 60 or 65, it is commonly seen at Alzheimer, and they forget. They forget also their relatives, names or relatives. So because of learning Sanskrit and memorizing the verses, etc., etc., we will not have that disease. Then self progress, swa. So here swa means not when we say that we are selfish, but here selfish swa has four meanings in Sanskrit language. Swa means not only body, our body, but swa also means atman, body, atman, their relatives. There are various meanings. So here swa means not body, but swa means atman. So when we say I am swarthi, or so here not selfish. I am not doing only for my body. I am doing everything for my atman. And the swartha is only paramartha. That is the only main purpose of human being, and it is told in various scriptures. In Mahabharata, there is word dharme cha arthe cha kame cha bhartarshava. Okay, so dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That four purushartha are there. So paramartha, swartha is only paramartha. The param means the extreme essence or extreme, we can say, the purpose. What is that? Swartha. Swartha means the knowing self. So all these things are attained by learning Sanskrit. Vivek means that discriminative power. We can do proper thinking. Okay. Nirakshara Viveka, there is verse in Sanskrit that the Hamsa, swan, can have has the proper Nirakshara. He separates milk and water. That kind of discrimination we can do. Then Atmannati, progress, that I told that the Atman means self, and progress, self progress. Okay. So that's why we should learn Sanskrit. Then now primary knowledge. Okay. So one can ask why do you need to learn Sanskrit? There are many translations. There are many books in various languages. So why to learn Sanskrit? If for this there is answer that there are we hear something, okay, that our own experience, that anything we hear or anything we experience, that is different, and the same thing we hear from somebody. For example, a story is a story. Okay, we are hearing story from some others, and we are experiencing their story. So these two are different things. Or we see a cinema or picture. Seeing cinema, experiencing it is different, and hearing the story of cinema from friend, somebody, is different. So self experience is the most authentic, we can say, at we say. So knowing Sanskrit or understanding Sanskrit is for what? Is for reading Sanskrit texts and getting self experience. Okay, so that's why we should learn Sanskrit, and not only learn Sanskrit, we should try to interpret the text, their texts. Now there are limitations for translations and comment, because those who translate any text, he by his own capacity he. For example, now Gita was told by Bhagwan avatar. Bhagwan Krishna was the avatar, no, incarnation of Lord Vishnu. So he told Gita. Now translating the Gita in our language, so one who is translating, he is not at level of Bhagwan Krishna. So either we should interpret Gita or the commentaries of Gita. Okay. So that's why there are limited some translations. If somebody cannot learn, it is okay that he is reading translations. But if you can learn Sanskrit, you should do that. For example, I'll give one example of the word yoga. So we know Patanjali Yoga Shastra, Patanjali Yoga Shastra. So the word yoga here is interpreted by many to join together. Okay. So now, why they interpret this word? So the word yoga is derived from the root yuj, to join. That's why they derive the word yoga, means to join. So what they say that joining of jiva, individual, and Paramatman. Paramatman is a supreme being. So coming together of jiva and Paramatman is yoga. But however, I also thought this when I was at primary level. I just entered Sanskrit. When I learned thoroughly the various texts, Shastra, I got time to read the Vyas Bhashya. There is Vyas Bhashya, commentary on Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Vyas Bhashya. So in Vyas Bhashya, they have refuted this opinion that yoga does not mean joining of jiva, individual and supreme being, but yoga means samadhi. Why? Because jiva is everywhere. It is not that jiva is there in some place, and it is not that Paramatman is there in one place. So two things can be joined when they are separate. Okay. For example, in a room, at one corner there is one object, and on some opposite corner there is one other object. The two objects come together, they unite. Why? Because they are not there in entire room. You imagine that there is air in entire room. So can we say that the air is joining? No, because it is already there. The joining is happening when the object is not there everywhere. Now Jiva and Paramatman, they both are everywhere. It is not that Jiva is not there at some place and Paramatma is not at some place. The joining of the we can say it omnipresent. They are present everywhere. The joining of omnipresent objects is difficult. It is impossible actually, because they are everywhere. Okay. The joining of two objects which are not omnipresent, which are present at some place, not everywhere, is possible, and not of the objects which are omnipresent. So, the joining of Jiva and Paramatman, this opinion is refuted. The yoga means samadhi. Now we gain this knowledge because I gained this knowledge because I learned Sanskrit thoroughly, and also I can interpret the text. There are various texts. Every text has no translation. So it is not possible to translate and then interpret. Then what to do for that? So we should at least give for some time, half hour, 1 hour per day for knowing Sanskrit. See, Sanskrit knowing is not the thing of just 10 days, 15 days, 1 month, okay, or 1 year. It is a penance. Tapasya we say. Just as in earlier times, sages, rishis used to do penance. It is not that they used to penance for 10 days only, 15 days, for years and years. Okay. So that's why learning Sanskrit is like a penance. We should treat it as a penance, and we should do it daily basis. So every day learning is most important if you have to gain something. I am doing this from last 22 years. That's why I gained something. Okay. So consistency is very necessary for that. Now we should not treat Sanskrit as like other languages. Sanskrit is very much different Okay, it is very most difficult language on this earth, or in this world, we can say. Other languages, they are just we can say vernacular languages, because they changes after some period, and Sanskrit is not that. Sanskrit remained as it is right from Mahabharata or before that also. That is this beauty, and because of this only we can interpret Mahabharata, Ramayana. You imagine if Sanskrit was not there in Mahabharata, if some other language would have been there, we could not have interpreted it as we are interpreting in Sanskrit. So Sanskrit, that is the beauty of Sanskrit, that is not changing, and it is a language of gods. So the thing that gods means it has perfectness, it has sanctity, and it is mentioned in one verse of this Kavya Darsha, poetic text of Sanskrit. Sanskritam nama daivi vag adnamakhyata maharshibihi. So here it clearly mentions that it is a language of gods, daivi vag. Okay. Then why Sanskrit learning is not possible in just few days or few months? There is also one evidence, or we can say proof, given in Panchatantra. So Panchatantra was written 2500 years before. Not that it was written some 500 or 200 years before. It was written 2500 BC. Normally, its period is known as 500 BC. It may be earlier also. So at that time, it was told, written is Panchatantra, that Dwadashabhir Varsher Vyakaranam Shruyate. In 12 years, learning Vyakaran is possible. Okay. Tato Dharmashastrani, Manvadini, Arthashastrani, Chanakyadini. After that, Dharmashastra and so on, so on, so on. So 12 years. At that time, there was no Mahakavya. There were no Mahakavya. There are Mahakavya, of two Kalidasa, Bharavi, Magha, and Sriharsha. There were no many various dramas. There were no many Puranas also. At that time, when there were, in last 1500 years, we can say the present Sanskrit literature that is published, among that almost 50% and more literature has been written in last 1500 years. So Panchatantra was written before that, 2500 years before. At that time there was no, not so, there might be literature because it is not available now. On the current basis, or not what we know now, on that basis there was not much literature. So that even though that it is told that 12 years Vyakaran is needed, and then so what this it conveys, that learning Sanskrit is not possible, is not, it takes some time. Okay. Then also further in Panchatantra it is said, Anantaparam kila Shabda Shastram Swalpam Tathayur Bhavascha Vignaha. Shabda Shastra is Anantaparam, is infinite. Anantaparam is not infinite. It actually, there are crores, we can create lakhs and crores of words in Sanskrit. Okay. I recently published my thesis, in that I gave some derivations of some words. That words were not there in any lexicons available. So it is not possible for Sanskrit. Creating lexicon is actually a limitation only, because we can create many words, and every word we cannot have lexicon for that. So Anantapadam Kila Shabda Shastram Shilpam. So the Shabda Shastra is vast, and our age or our life is very limited. Okay, Salpam, Bhavastavi. There are many difficulties. Okay. So in 100, for example, in Mahabharata it is said that a human can live for maximum 100 years. Mahabharata was also written 2500 years before. And Mahabharata tells that a human can live for 100 years, around 100 years. So if for 100 years, for example, in a day, we study, we can study almost, 24 hours, for 8 hours for sleeping. So one third of our age is meant for taking rest. So we can, by calculating, only 20 years are left. That also we spend time for our daily, for our working, okay, earning income, etc. So hardly 10 years are left to do gain some knowledge. 10 to 15 years we can say to gain some knowledge. How is it possible to learn Sanskrit in such a limited span and so vast Shastra? So for that, Panini wrote Ashtadhyayi. So in Mahabharata it is told that in the limited or learning Sanskrit, what is the shortest way to learn Sanskrit? No Sanskrit. So Ashtadhyayi is the only shortest way. There is no other shortest way. In for other languages, what we do, we learn language first. Okay, for how is it done? A baby from right from his its birth, he is listening language. That baby is listening language, and after 4 years, the child starts speaking. Okay, so for 4 years, he or she is learning language. Okay, or listening to language, and after that, so Shabda Samskara, impressions are there for 4 years. Not that in just few months or a few days he is listening and speaking. No. So language requires lot of listening, lot of reading, and then only we can speak. But this is possible for the vernacular languages. Sanskrit is not that. Not this is no case for Sanskrit. So how to then learn Sanskrit? And also the texts we see they are very difficult. So Panini created Ashtadhyayi, and this is the only way. If we try to know Sanskrit by the literature, it is told that it is very vast. Okay, so reading entire literature and knowing Sanskrit is difficult. We can know some part of language, but there are many aspects, shades Sanskrit language. Okay, I will tell one example how that na becomes na, sa becomes sha. There are many rules told in Ashtadhyayi. There are many combinations, permutations, combinations to make a word and to use it. There are many vibhakti. There are many things. So all these things, knowing all these things is not possible by reading literature, because there is no such literature which have everything. It might have some very few things. So that's why Ashtadhyayi we can learn everything. Every aspect of language is learned by knowing Ashtadhyayi. And then learning Ashtadhyayi is very difficult. So there are commentaries, Kashik or Siddhant Kaumudi, and then we can learn. So difficultness is the beauty of Sanskrit language. If one will say that I want to remove nails and fangs of tiger and I want to fight with him. So fighting or winning over the tiger, having no nails and fangs, is not of no use, because the nature of tiger is having nails and fangs. Okay. Other example of Mount Everest. One will say that everybody should climb Mount Everest. So we should reduce its height. Reducing height of Mount Everest is we are spoiling its nature. Okay. So these are two examples. Similarly, Sanskrit language is difficultness is the nature of Sanskrit language, and we should go upwards. Bringing Sanskrit language down is not the solution. Okay, to learn it, because we can bring it down, but what about the literature? We cannot bring all literature at down level. Okay, that's why nowadays people are facing problems. Even though they are learning Sanskrit, they cannot interpret. They cannot even split the words Sandhi Vichcheda in Bhagavad Gita. This is a very simple thing they cannot do. This is because they are not learning in proper way. So now maintaining the Sanskrit is very important thing, and we are doing this course, or we established Sanskrit Seva Foundation. The word there is Seva, Sanskrit Seva. So we do the Seva. What is the Seva? Seva means serving the Sanskrit language, means maintaining its nature and not spoiling its nature. For that we have created a course called Bhasha Abhyasa. Now there are various courses available nowadays, one-way learning. Many courses, people come to us and many students, they have completed BA, MA. Even though after completing BA, MA, they are learning from basic level, okay, in our course. So now various courses available in various institutions. They are the system is in Western system, okay, one-way learning. Means teacher will come in the classroom, will teach, and it will give lot of input, and there is no time for the student to grasp it, okay, assimilate that input. You imagine that you are just eating continuously and you are not digesting. What is the use of that? That is the way we are learning in schools and colleges. We are just having input and we have no time to digest it. There is less time for discussion, focus. So the main going on degree, okay, degree, completing the syllabus. The main focus is going there. Lack of mastering. So now various courses, what they teach various topics. They will teach you Shakuntal drama at first or second year, even though the student is not knowing language. But what he do, he just interpret the Shakuntala by translation. Okay, he's not interpreting the Shakuntala by in his own way. Similarly, it is similar case of other texts. So they are just learning. They are not learning text actually. They are translating it. Learning in translate by the way of translation. Learning many texts and mastering nothing. This is the current situation of various courses, and that's why they are not gaining knowledge. What we do now, okay, we follow traditional system, okay, and I think this is the only way to assimilate Sanskrit, okay, learn Sanskrit. There is no other way, proper way. I will tell you that what is traditional system. We have created one blog on our web page. I will, after finishing this slideshow PPT, I will go to that. I will tell you the story of Kulkarni. It is in Bhagavad Purana. So now Bhasha Abhyasa, our course, Bhasha Abhyasa, the word Bhasha means Sanskrit. Regarding this, I have explained in the first chapter of the lesson of the Bhashankura. So Abhyasa, the word Abhyasa, we know Abhyasa means study. No, Abhyasa means not only studying. The word Abhyasa means mastering by repetition. So Abhyasa means avrutti. So there is verse in Gita, Abhyasa yogena tumdranjaya. So Abhyasa yogena. So here Abhyasa means repetition, means mastering actually. So the mastering of language, that we have given the title, and we have 3 levels. I will show you the video also, the course video. From that, we will know the course. Then also I will show the book also. So here we finish the PPT. So I will now move to our web page. Okay. Yes, you can ask.
Sir, we have heard that in Veda the grammar is different.
Just you can little loud speak.
We have heard that in Vedas the grammar is different.
No, it is not actually. See, there is 2 types of Sanskrit: Vedic Sanskrit and non-Vedic Sanskrit. That Sanskrit is called Chandasa. It is little different. It's not that it's extremely different. Yes, it is different. That language, but it's not different language. Okay. It is. There are some. For that, in Ashtadhyayi, there are 500 sutras on which interpret Vedic language or Vedic grammar, we can say. Okay. That is another task. We must master our basic, that Sanskrit, okay, like literary Sanskrit. After that, we can go to Veda. We can go together. It is not impossible. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I will now.
Karanji has a question. Karanji, you can ask.
Yes.
Yes, I heard that Sanskrit was a pure language, and that if somebody has a very high consciousness, like if the word for Sanskrit is honey, that person would actually experience what is honey by virtue of hearing that word. And I was wondering if you could explain that further.
I think Karanji was trying to ask, is it the case that those who have a high level of consciousness,
Yes.
they're able to kind of perceive everything with their ability to grasp with their conscious state and not mind or senses alone. Sanskrit is a language which actually is more suited for them. So when somebody says draksha, draksha, the word itself makes them actually experience the juice or the taste or even the essence of it, is what she's saying.
Yeah.
I'm not. It might possible. See, that is called yoga samarthya. Yogi can do everything. Okay, it is not possible for a small common man. But you can, if anybody has experience, okay. Then they can have experience. That's why no, it is the language of gods. Means it is a very perfect language. Okay. So we can have experience also just by hearing the words. There are many words in Sanskrit. By just listening, there is Om, no? Only just by listening to that, we can have the experience, spiritual experience and everything, okay?
We have one question in the chat. I think it will be helpful if the questions are related to what was covered so far.
Yes.
But anyway, we'll take this question. Is AI going to take over this learning? I guess Sanskrit learning. Do you have an answer for that?
No, AI, see, AI has also limitations. Yesterday only I tried to translate one verse in that AI, but see, there are three meanings. Okay, Vachyartha, Lakshyartha, Vyangyartha. So Vachyartha means primary meaning, Lakshyartha is secondary meaning, and Vyangyartha, intention actually is called hidden meaning, you can say. For example, when we say Gangayam Ghoshaha, here what can the AI do? AI can translate there is Goshala. Ghosha means the what we say, the cow shed on the banks of Ganga. But why? What is the purpose of using the word Ganga here? Because the Ganga is pure. That's why one says that my cow shed is on the banks of Ganga. So that hidden meaning cannot told by the AI. That only human brain can do. So for me, Sanskrit, interpreting Sanskrit, there are limitations for the AI and etc. 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 Because the Lakshartha, see, they can do Vachyartha, but Lakshartha and etc. There are various. We need human brain only. I will tell you one example, recent example. One day before, there is one verse, tathas nai bhavedarkaha. Okay, nityasnai bhavedarkaha. It is in Dharmashastra, one Vasishta Smriti or something. This verse is there, and I translated it in that AI tool. Nityasnai bhavedarkaha. So what he translated it that the sun bather, okay, regular sun bather. In this way, it translated. Actually, nityasnai bhavedarkaha. The meaning is that one who has habit of bathing regularly becomes like sun. Nityasnai arko bhavet. He becomes like sun. He gains the luster like sun. So this is a thing that I have limitations. Okay, so I will go now for the next.
Yeah, please proceed.
I will show you the first. I will show you the video. Just a minute.
Namaskar. I am currently a student of the BA Sanskrit external course of Tilak Maharaj.
The first level, Bhashankura, Bhasha Kalika, and Bhasha Kusumam. So Bhasha, just as the flower sprouts from the seed, okay, become Kalika, means a bird, and then similarly we have given same name. So Bhashankura is the basic level, Bhasha Kalika is the second level, Bhasha Kalika means bird, and Bhasha Kusuma, blossoming of the flower. So at that level, you gain at almost 60-70% knowledge of Sanskrit. Then, so at first level, Bhashamkura, I have wrote this text, Bhashamkura. You can get it, be available. And after mastering or scoring above 90%, you get Bhashamkura with title. The second level, Bhasha Kalika, there is Panchatantra each and Lagu Siddhant Kaumudi. These two texts are taught. And one will get the title Bhasha Kalika with. And level 3, Siddhant Kaumudi, high level text it is. And there are various literature to interpret the, and she will get Bhasha Kusuma with title. So this is the Bhasha Abhyasa. Okay. So now the three levels I will show the course. So at the first level we have specific goals. So at the first level what we do, we will enable, or the student will master the concepts, basic concepts of Vyakarana. He can split the words by knowing Sandhi rules easily. It is not that he will have any difficulty. Then he can recognize some forms. So the Bhashamkur book, I have given a list of Subhashitas. So you can just split the words. You can know the form of the word at basic level. These are the things you will gain from this first level. Then method of learning. Okay, I told that we follow traditional method of learning. Regarding this, I will just tell you the story of that Gokarna. In Bhagavata Mahatmya, it is told that there is story of Dhundukari and Gokarna. The Dhundukari, stepbrother of Gokarna, and you might be knowing that he was just what do you say, bad habits. He had bad habits, and because of that, he was killed by his wives, and he was thrown in some outside village. And due to that, there was no mukti too, because there was no post-death rites, okay, funeral rites done. So then this Gokarna, when returned to the village, he knew that his brother died in such a way, and then he tried to give him mukti from this. Actually, Dhundukari went to the Pishacha Yoni. Pishacha Yoni is one kind of, we say that after Pishacha Yoni, there are various yonis. So he went to Pishacha Yoni, and to release him from that Yoni, Gokarna did Shraddha Karmas, the funeral, the post-death Karmas in various places, in Gaya, etc., etc. After doing that, Dhundukari was not released from that Pishacha Yoni. Then what happened? He asked to God, Lord Sun, the Suryadeva. Suryadeva suggested him to do Bhagavad Saptaha. Then he did Bhagavad Saptaha at his home, and at that time various people used to come to listen to that. At the end of Bhagavad Saptaha, the Haridasa, okay, Haridasa means the servants of Lord Vishnu. They came from the Vaikuntha Lok by Vimana. This is there in Bhagavata Mahatmya. They came by Vimana, and they brought one Vimana to Gokarna. Then Gokarna asked that everybody listened Bhagavata, why only you brought one Vimana? Phalabedha kuto jataha prabhavantu haripriyaha. Then they replied, Shravanasya vibedena phalabedo atra samsitaha shravanam tu kutam sarvena tatha mananam kutam. Others, the listeners only listened. They didn't do manana. Means we can say listening is the first step. After listening, there should be repetition of that, or thinking on that topic. That manana they didn't did. That's why they didn't get the fruit that the Gokarna and his brother got. So this is the importance of manana and chintana told. And also there is famous verse that Acharya padamadatte padam shishya samedaya padam sabrahmacharibhya padah kalena pachyate. That Acharya, the Vidya one fourth part of Vidya is obtained from Acharya, only 1/4 part. Then afterwards, the 1/4 part is developed by own capacity, so Medhaya, own intelligence. Then 1/4 part is developed by discussion with colleagues, and then afterwards, in this way, the knowledge is obtained. So we follow these 4 steps. Okay. So these are the 4 steps. Grahanam. So in this course, what we do, for example, for the level 1, now we are beginning level 1 from the next week. So I wrote the book Bhashankura. So they, I tell them that you should prepare 2-3 lessons per week. Okay, you should do Grahana, and after preparing each lesson, there should be Chintana. You should discuss with your colleagues, online colleagues, and then you should solve the exercises. In this way, after that, there is Anuvada, means you have to tell what you understood to me, and I will also examine. So in this way, every week there is exam. There are various exams. So there are around 33 exams. Because of these exams, the topic learned are mastered. Okay, it is not that he is just obtaining knowledge or he just learning for getting certificate or degree. No, he is learning here to become master. And these 33 exams. So now you only tell me there is no other course that have so much exams for 6 months course. And after that, passing criteria is 70%. It is not 50%, because he is learning Sanskrit not for getting any degree, or he is learning Sanskrit for his own purpose. That every student, those who enroll for this course, we assume that he want to master Sanskrit. It is not he are just appearing just to get some certificate, etc., etc. So 70% is the passing criteria. And those who will get 90% and above, they will get special monetary prize and also copper plate. Okay, so copper plate to felicitate the that student. So this is the thing we have planned, and this is the first level. And the second level, similarly, second, third level will be there. So the first level is for 6 months. Second level, Bhasha Kalika, will be for 1.5 years, approximately. At that level, we are not teaching entire Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi. We teach some part of Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi, and we teach Panchatantra also. So there is some samskar of language. Now, at the first level, we do not compulse on Sanskrit language, but the student can learn in English, Hindi, Marathi, Sanskrit also. The text now it is in English and Marathi, so he must know English, minimum English language. Now we are planning to bring the text in Hindi also, and the book has begun. So at the first level, knowing concepts, mastering concepts, and knowing some words. So in that Bhashankura book, I will show you the video of that Bhashankura book. You have an idea of that book.
An introductory
In the meantime, Kulkarni ji, can you kindly switch on your video?
Consisting of 64 lessons, it covers topics such as Sandhi, Karaka, Upapada Vibhakti, compounds, technical subjects, and more. Each lesson contains examples and exercises selected from Ashtadhyayi and Sanskrit literature, containing over 500 illustrations to imprint the concepts in the learner's mind. This book is blessed by revered spiritual personalities.
So in this book, I have given various examples, many examples from literature only, not that I have created by my own. And because of that, the student, he has samskara, shabda samskara. Okay, he become familiar to various Sanskrit words. And the second level, what we do, I teach Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi again in English, in Hindi or English language. And at that time, I begin Sanskrit commentary, read Sanskrit commentary. And at this level, second level, there is Bhasha Samskara. Okay. I tell the students to speak little bit, and then third level is entirely in Sanskrit. So in this way, slowly we reach to Sanskrit communication. Okay, and at the third level, Siddhanta Kaumudi is there and some texts to just see. Only learning grammar is not important. We should have application of that language also, and the application is done in third level. That will be done in third level. Now, so this is the about our course, and it is we strictly follow traditional method. Okay, we do not. Our focus is not to increase number of students, but let one or two students learn, but they should learn properly. Just as Adi Shankaracharya had very few sisters, but they were master. Every student was or shishya was master. Okay. Okay, so I have finished my what I want to say. If anybody has questions or suggestions, they can tell.
Thanks, Dr. Kulkarni. That was an amazing session.
Just one sharing of experience, sir.
Who is talking?
One sharing of experience.
Yes.
Before that, Kulkarni ji, can you kindly switch on your video, please?
Okay. This was just off. Yes.
Okay. I always wanted to learn Sanskrit. I had Hindi as second language in my school and college.
Okay.
And during the COVID time, I had the opportunity to learn Sanskrit through Zoom classes, through Samskrita Bharati.
Okay.
My main objective was to learn Sanskrit, to understand slokas and the Bhagavatam and these things. Though it was later on, at my late age, of course there is no age for learning. I enjoyed learning all the vibhaktis, and it was a very, very good experience, and the shabdas.
Yes.
And I also tried to practice speaking. But as you said, it requires continuous practice.
Yes.
It requires very much continuous practice. Now when I am reading Bhagavatam or when I am reading Sundarakshmi, I am able to understand much better than what it was earlier. Or when we are chanting mantras, say slokas. And that was a very, very novel and great experience. I'm happy I learned it, but I could do it better. I will try to do it.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. You have motivated us a little more. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, Bhavdev.
Okay. Thank you.
If not, I'll just ask some curious question, if I may. During the introduction, I heard that you have also read texts in Telugu, and I'm curious to know, is that in search of Sanskrit in it, or can I just find out a little more, please?
No, not actually Telugu script. I published that second book, Vedanta Siddhanta Chandrika. That I did criticalization on that, and I referred 33 manuscripts all over India. So 2 manuscripts were in Bengali and 1 in Telugu. So that manuscript is in Mysuru Oriental Institute, and 1 manuscript is in Telugu script. So I have to see the difference that the scripts are different and language is different. So in South, Sanskrit, in Tamil, actually Tamil Nadu, Sanskrit was written in Grantha script, not in Tamil script. And in Karnataka and also in Tamil Nadu, Grantha script was used, Malayalam script, Telugu script. So there are various scripts. So the knowing that script is also necessary if one has to read the manuscript. So I learned Telugu script, and I could read that manuscript in Telugu. This is not language, this is script. It was script, yes, Telugu script.
Well, that's wonderful. It shows how much passion you have and how much hard work you have put in.
Yes.
Yeah.
It took 9 years, to do PhD, and 4 years when just because I also did BA MA similarly. But after doing MA, I knew that I don't have any knowledge of Sanskrit because many people you also know that in colleges and schools colleges just we are just learning for degrees. Okay, we are not learning to obtain knowledge. And same case happened. So I then learn in one Pathashala in Pune, and I learned Nyaya Shastra some, then one text of Mimamsa, and then Vyakarana. Because of that, I could translate that 350 years old manuscript. There was no work done on that. I could translate it, and also I wrote notes. And also I derived some words, they were not available in any lexicons because of mastering Vyakarana, Sanskrit Vyakarana. So, if you want to do anything in Sanskrit, you must master language. This is the basic thing that you must do. Then you can proceed for some other Shastra or some other thing. The mastery Sanskrit. In previous periods, the scholars, the Pandits used to master first language and then they used to do some other things. Nowadays, we are just hurrying to get degrees and just to get various things. That's why we founded this foundation, because there are, see, many students are doing BA may come to us and they learn from basic level. They don't know basic things also. This is the case. Okay, this is the fact.
Oh, I'm a Buddhist practitioner, and my goal in learning Sanskrit is to be able to read all the sutras. So this is my main goal, and I really thank you for all your effort to try to teach us this language.
He ordered book from, so now our book also went to Brazil.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, he will learning from basic level.
So maybe I could just ask, what would be your advice for some of us who actually come from a very different path? As you very well know, Samskrita Bharati does not actually start from the point of grammatical foundation. We don't start with Siddhanta Kaumudi or Ashtadhyayi. We come from a very different route. But at some point of time, just as Bhagavad Gita would say, all paths have to meet at some point. So, what would be a meeting point where once we finish Kovida, what would be your advice for those who come from Samskrita Bharati?
Sanskrit Bharati main focus is on speaking Sanskrit. I told Sanskrit is different language. Okay, Sanskrit is very much different language, and what we do mistake that we compare it with other languages. This is the mistake that we do. It is not so. Sanskrit, we should treat Sanskrit as a different language, and we say on one hand it is language of gods, on the other hand we try to make it at very local level. This is not right way. That I gave two examples of Mount Everest and that tiger. Okay, so if we want to win tiger, we should not remove his nails and fangs. We should not reduce the height of the Mount Everest. We should maintain its sanctity, purity. So what should do? We own should go upwards. Okay, and learning Vyakarana, see, learning language, there are two things. Either we should learn Vyakarana or language. But for Sanskrit, my experience is that we should learn Vyakarana first, because there is a very long journey if we try to know Sanskrit by learning language. Okay, very long journey. And the shortest way is that we should begin with learning Vyakarana, and that's why at first level we don't compel students learning speaking in Sanskrit. We just try to teach them concepts, and slowly, just as I gave the example of the child, a child listens language for 4 years. It is not that a child learns language in just 10 days, 15 days. No. Okay. So it is a long process actually. Sanskrit is a very long process. It is not the process of 10, 15 days, 1 month or 2 months.
So I guess what I'm hearing is there is no meeting point for those who come from Samskrita Bharati and the traditional way of learning Sanskrit.
There is meeting point actually. Sanskrit Bharati people.
That was my question. Yeah, that was my question.
They should try to learn Vyakarana. Okay.
Yeah, I understand.
They should try to follow the traditional path. I am in Sanskrit from last 22 years, and I came across various streams of learning Sanskrit. So what see, Mahabhashyakara also told that learning Sanskrit is not a very simple case, and the shortest way is learning Panini Vyakarana. It is the vachana of Mahabhashyakara and not a vachana of any small thing. So Mahabhashyakara, if you are not following that, then we are opposing to the Mahabhashyakara vachana. And in also Panchatantra, it is told that learning Vyakarana is of 12 years. It's not that of very few years. So the distinction is that Sanskrit is a different language and it should be learned not like other languages. Other languages are learned, they are flow, they are changing after every 25, 30 years. There is no fixed background or grammar for that languages. So that they are learned, they are known by just understanding, by the communication, etc., etc. But Sanskrit is not so. So if we want to read, if our goal is interpret the Sanskrit text, then there is no other option than learning Vyakarana.
Okay, thank you so much, Manojji. Would you like to bring this session to a close?
Sure. Thanks a lot, Dr. Kulkarni. Thanks to all the people who have joined. We really value your time, and this session has been very enriching. Thank you, Dr. Kulkarni, for taking this session and highlighting the importance of Sanskrit, learning Sanskrit Vyakarana.
Yes.
We would like to continue the learning, and we remain in touch with you in future as well.
Yes.
Thanks a
I'm
lot.
also grateful for giving me opportunity to share my thoughts. Okay. And I hope that many people from who see, just listen, they learn Sanskrit in serious way, serious manner. Okay. And just they are not listening. Just as in Bhagavata Purana, many there are only listeners and they are not doing manan. Okay. So I hope that many people take learning Sanskrit serious, and they do every day. They should give some time, half an hour of 1 hour. And after some years, they will master it. So patience is required. Okay.
Right. So all those interested and want to learn from Guruji, please be in touch. I think in the chat box there is a number given as well. So please contact, and it's I'm sure what I'm hearing is it is a very well structured course, helpful for the serious learners, especially if you would want to master the language. Okay, so perhaps we'll just close with a Shanti Mantram.
Yes.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you once again.
Thank you.